I'm here in Pembroke to have a look at what could be the hardest route in the whole of Wales. Amazing cave, goes right through. Oh yeah, okay, now we can definitely see a bit of a wall there. People had said they'd seen Neil trying it and they'd even tried the route as well, and they'd found it really hard. Okay, let's go and have a look.
It's an impressive piece of rock, isn't it?
I think it's going to probably look more impressive as we come round. And there was rumours of it being solid at the grade. Now it looks steep. Now it's starting to look very steep. Scary gear, big fall potential. So yeah, I won't say I was optimistic. It looks pretty fierce, to be honest. And I was expecting to not come away with having done it. I expected to have a chance, but I wasn't getting my heart set on success. So right, I just topple straight off, topple off backwards. So I knew that to go for something this hard on site was probably a bit foolish. So my original approach was not really a traditional style at all. It was just to have a look at it on top rope, have a look at the gear, see if I could fiddle out how it goes in, and then take it from there, really. I'm hoping this is the easy bit. I don't think it is though, funnily enough. With the head pointing style, like, you don't ask any of these questions on the route because you've answered them all already. You set off from the ground and you know everything. You know where the gear goes, where the hard moves are. The rock's a little bit scary like, but it's all right. Shouldn't break off. Just gotta climb. And in a way it makes it brilliant because you're just climbing. You know, that's one of the best things about it. You definitely want to, I'd feel very, very, very airy here. Bloody hell. I wouldn't want to fall off there. It looks stunning in terms of its flat wall. The difficulty of climbing looks amazing. Some of the rocks look a little bit friable. Yeah, I think if I try and I put a top rope on first, see if I can try some of the moves now. I don't think you can really call the head pointing style traditional rock climbing. It's just too different. Bloody hell. Oh, shit, that's miles. That is a big reach. That'll be committing. Oh, that's a stretch. Turned on the second day and it was really wet. It had rained all night long, but I was determined to at least have a look at it. So I abseiled down with a towel and some chalk and brushed all the holes and just kept on trying to convince myself that it was it had a possibility of being climbed. That's the fifth. That's the fifth. And that'll be the sixth. That's the emergency one. That's behind there, that's out there, that's it. That's me rack. Looks quite big. The more I dried it, the more I convinced myself that maybe it was going to work. Some of the holes just wouldn't dry at all. I figured that they were kind of flat, maybe slightly uncut, and with a good dose of chalk and a bit of mental persuasion, maybe I'd get away with it. So I stood on the ground before I started. It was just a matter of weighing up, is it worth the risk, and what are the chances of falling off, and if I do fall off, is it going to be okay? And I kind of decided the gear was alright. If I fell off I was going to take a big fall potentially, but the gear was going to be okay. So once I convinced myself those two factors, just a matter of switching switching into like sport mode and just getting on with it. So it's just a matter of choking up and then just moving fast before the holes got slippy. I got the gear in okay. I just psyched myself up for it and convinced myself that if I did fall it was going to be alright, and just gave it everything, and then man, it was a proper battle. Answer all the questions before I left the ground. You know, is the gear good enough? What's the fall potential like? Where can you afford to fall? Where can't you afford to fall? Which are the wet holds? Where does the gear go? I answered all these questions before I set off, and when I looked at all the questions together, it was good to go. So once I made the decision, it was just a matter of going. No more questions to be asked. No more halfway up. Oh, is it all right? All these questions were answered. I just set off. It was like being on a sport route. Even though I wasn't on a sport route, it was like being on one. In terms of my mental approach, it was just like go all the way, climb it as best you can. I mean, this style of climbing, this sort of head point, red point style of climbing, it really is so different to what people perceive as traditional climbing. So I could dry the route. It's so steep that you really need to have something clipped in, otherwise you just can't get into the wall at all. So I left this rope in place as I was absolutely down. And when I climbed up to it on lead, it was still clipped into the gear, and I thought I'd give myself some slack to unclip it, but man, it was just, the tension in the rope was so tight, I just couldn't get it out. I needed to get it out or I'd be climbing all over it. So I was desperately trying to unclip it from the carabiner, and I was getting more and more pumped, and it was getting really, really hard work, and I was thinking, oh man, I'm going to fall off now. I'm going to fall off after all the hard climbing. But with a real bit of perseverance, I managed to just about get it out, but it meant that the last bit of the route I was knackered. It's supposed to be the easy bit, but it was the crux, to be honest, by miles. last moves though, really easy. I was just skidding off completely, but kind of made it better, to be honest. It was a really good battle, and yeah, great route. Really psyched to have done it. So to come away with doing it in just a couple of days, man, I was well psyched. Couldn't have been better. Perfect. Phew, that was good. Bit of drag. Let me up. Wow. Not quite as anything. No, it was in terms of climbing for me. Wow, it was really close. Really close. Like going into the cave, which is like nothing climbing, it was totally drenched, and I reached for the finishing jug and I almost fell off it, and I had to grovel into the cave using like holds which I'd never even noticed before, thinking I want to fall off here, I want to fall out of the cave, and I was so pumped when I was in there. It was just like bosh. That last bit was actually alright, but I was a bit worried about it, thinking oh, it could be quite hard this, so I jibbered my way up it, but it was alright. Phew, great, psyched for that. Bring it on.